Now next topic is average speed or velocity, or instantaneous speed and velocity. So first of all, let's start with average speed. Now average means overall. Average means overall. Suppose if a car moves from say Ludhiana to Amritsar, during its motion it has different number of speeds, but we cannot define all the speeds. So we, instead of saying this is moving at this point, this speed, this speed, this speed, we take an overall and average speed for the whole journey. We will take an overall and the average speed for the whole journey. So we can say the total ratio, it's a ratio of total distance traveled by an object to the total time taken is called average speed, or if we have to define average velocity, then it is total displacement by total time taken, that is average velocity. So if particle travel distance s1, s2, s3 with speed v1, v2, v3, then average speed is this. We can find this. Then if it is moving with velocity and time this, then average speed is this. So it has covered different type of cases. Let's discuss that cases one by one. First of all, we know that average speed is total distance by total time taken. Total time taken. Suppose a body moves first from A to B and its covered displacement or distance s1 and time its take t1. Then it's moved from B to C with this distance it moved s2 and time its take t2. Now total distance taken is, that is s1 plus s2 by total time taken is t1 plus t2. This is average speed. Now if we don't know the value of time, but it's given that it's covered distance s1 with velocity v1 and it's covered distance s2 with velocity v2. In that case we can replace time with the velocity. How? We know that velocity is equals to distance, or speed is equals to distance upon time. So we can say here time is equals to distance upon velocity. So t1 is nothing but it is s1 by v1 and t2 is nothing but it is s2 by v2. So by substituting the value we get what? We get average velocity or speed is equals to s1 plus s2 is equals to, instead of t1 and t2 we can also write s1 by v1 plus s2 by v2. Suppose there is a special case that s1 and s2 both are equal and this both are equals to s. In that case this will become s plus s upon s by v1 plus s by v2. Now this is what we get. V average is equals to 2 times s upon s common from inside, 1 by v1 plus 1 by v2. So s get cancelled with this s, we get 2 times, here we take LCM v1 v2, v1 plus v2 here we'll get. So we get AV average is equals to 2 v1 v2 v1 plus v2. So this is the formula directly for the velocities where it is given that displacement or distance is same. So for this we discuss an example. Say if an object move a distance of 2 meter and next distance that's also of 2 meter with velocity say 3 meter per second and second velocity say 5 meter per second. What is the average velocity? It's quietly given that displacement or distance is same, so we directly use the formula 2v1 v2 by v1 plus v2. By directly using this formula we'll get the value, it means by substituting the value of v1 and v2. Now next case, if again we know that average formula is s1 plus s2 by t1 by t1 plus t2. But in this case, suppose displacement is not given but velocity is given, means it's given that it's covering first distance or displacement with velocity v1 and time t1, and second one with velocity v2 and time t2, but displacement is not given. Now we know that velocity is equals to displacement by time taken. So from here, displacement is velocity into time taken. So we can say here S1 is equals to V1 into T1 and S2 is equals to V2 into T2. So what we'll get? We'll get here V average is equals to, instead of S1 we can write V1 T1, instead of S2 we can write V2 T2, upon total time taken is T1 plus T2. Now again we will consider a special case, that if T1 and T2 both are equals to T, in that case we get V1 plus V2, T will get common, and in base we get 2T, T will get cancelled with T. So here we get V average is equals to, it's like mean of the velocity, V1 plus V2 by 2, it's like mean of the velocity. So if in an example, say a question, it is given that, a particle is moving with velocity v1, say 2 meter per second, and v2 with 3 meter per second, and say given that it's covering two distance in same time interval. It's covering two distance in same time interval. Then by applying the formula S1 plus S2 upon T1 plus T2, that formula will directly use this formula. We just substitute the value of v1, v2 upon we take 2. So this is all about average and the average speed and the velocity. Now we'll discuss about the instantaneous speed or instantaneous velocity. What's the actually meaning? It's defined. Instant means at particular instant of the time. When an object is traveling with variable speed, then its speed at a given instant of time is called instantaneous speed. Now suppose this is the graph for a speed. This is a graph for a speed. If I have to find the speed between this interval, in this interval it has some value of delta s and has some value of delta t, means here velocity is equals to delta s by delta t. If we talk about a particular instant, say at point this A, now at point A this delta t is very small, means this limit delta t approaches to what? 0. So we can say V average limit delta t approaches to almost 0. We have delta s by delta t. So we know this thing is what? This is derivative ds by dt. If we know this change is very small, in that case it changes to ds by dt. So instantaneous velocity is the velocity at particular instant of time.